Hello everybody and welcome to the weekly look at the best-selling light novels in Japan. This for the week of August 28th to September 3rd of 2023. Let's take a look at what were the top 10 bestsellers this week. At number 10, we had volume number 1 of Natsunagi Nagisa Still Wants to Be a High School Girl. The detective is already dead. Ordinary Case. This one is actually about Nagisa Natsunagi. It's set before she actually gets involved in the events of The Detective Is Already Dead, and sounds very much like it's going to focus on her day-to-day school life now that she's not as sickly as she used to be. This one we do not currently have in English, however we do have the main series The Detective Is Already Dead being released from Yen on. At number 9, we have volume number 2 of After I Reincarnated, I Was Able to Meet My Beloved Family Again. Using my past life's cheat, I'll make delicious meals. This one is an isekai, obviously, about a Japanese girl who is reborn in a new world and eventually finds herself with a family, and she introduces, well, shockingly, Japanese cooking. Yes, Japanese ingredients, Japanese style cooking, and it's a massive hit. This is a pretty new series, and we do not have it officially released in English. At number 8, we have volume number 9 of Days with My Stepsister. This one is a romantic comedy about a boy whose father gets remarried, and the woman he marries just happens to have a daughter that is the most beautiful girl at the boys' school. Cue awkward living situation, and two people who probably would have had nothing to do with each other finding love. Well, I don't know if they find love, but I'm guessing. This one is actually released in English by Yen on. At number 7, we have Kirby of the Stars, Come to Lively Mahoroa Land. So basically, what it seems to be is that Japan takes incidents from Kirby games and makes novels out of them. This is far from the first time that this has happened. This one, it says that it's actually taken from the Kirby of the Stars Wii Deluxe. So Kirby is a big thing in Japan. This one has been on the list for several weeks now and has outlasted a lot of other really big and popular series. At number 6, we have Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? Heroic Tale Box Set. So this one, well, we'll be talking about this a little bit later, but essentially this is a storyline that has been taken from the Danmachi video game Memoria Freeze, which I believe is a mobile game, and it tells the story of a character that I'm not sure if it's canonical in the novels, but supposedly this individual is a previous incarnation of Belle Cornell, who of course is the main character from the main Danmachi series. This guy is actually called Argonaut, which, if you're familiar with the Danmachi series, you know is the name of Belle's ultimate skill. So clearly a prequel series to the main series. This is a box set. We'll be talking about the volume 2 of this series a little bit later in the list, but this essentially takes the first 2 volumes, collects them into sort of a hardcover, puts them with a special box with looks like some acrylic stands of the characters and so forth. At number 5, we have Disney Twisted Wonderland Episode 2, Rebel of the Wilderness. Now, this is a mobile video game series that pretty much sounds like an isekai, and the main character finds themselves in a magical school. I'm guessing, I don't know if it has characters who are directly Disney characters or they're patterned off of Disney characters, or they're sort of twisted versions of Disney characters. I really am not too familiar with this one, and none of you really had anything to say about it in the previous week that this was on the list. But essentially, this is a novelization of the game's main storyline. At number 4, we have volume number 19 of She Professed Herself Pupil of the Wise Man. This one is about your typical Japanese gamer who has a main character that's absolutely like leveled up to the nines. He's like this older sorcerer capable of XYZ. And then he's got sort of a side character that's a cute little girl that he hasn't done a lot with. And one night he falls asleep and finds himself in the video game world, but in the body of his sort of joke, cute little girl avatar. And hilarity ensues. This one we do have licensed in English from 7 Seas. At number 3, we have Argonaut's sequel, Hero's Fate. Is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon? Heroic Tale. So, I said we'd be speaking again about Argonaut. This is the second volume of the series, making up, I guess, the second half of that box set, that special edition that was released. This is just the regular edition of that volume number 2 of that series. At number 2, we have volume number 13 of Saga of Tanya the Evil. This one, a very popular series about a absolutely ruthless Japanese salesman who ticks off the wrong coworker and gets himself pushed in front of a subway train, and then proceeds to make God really angry, and so God puts him in the body of a young girl who then becomes a warrior in a magical version of basically World War II, or is it World War I? I don't know. I think it blends the two a little bit if I recall, but in any case, this one, very interesting isekai. We do actually have this one in English from Yen on. Finally, at number 1, we have volume 7 of Alia Sometimes Hides Her Feelings in Russian. This is a slice-of-life romantic comedy about a girl who is of Russian and Japanese descent. She's beautiful, haughty, and an exceptional student who makes it sound like she's speaking smack in Russian, but in reality, she's letting her true feelings show. She just doesn't realize that her seatmate, a Japanese boy, also understands Russian. So those are your top 10 best-selling light novels in Japan for the week of August 28th to September 3rd. We've got quite a number of these available in English, particularly the ones that are like an ongoing series. What do you think of these titles? Let me know in the comments down below. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up to let me know that you're enjoying this series. And I'll be back with a look at what's best-selling next week. Until then, bye-bye for now.